Our world is moving at an exponential pace, and the internet is at the forefront of this change. And the next phase of technology will impact almost every aspect of our lives.
Whether or not there are any human rights, if there's any constitutional protections for something like freedom of thought or mental privacy or cognitive liberty, nothing like that exists yet. Nothing like that exists yet.
From the metaverse to the rise of AI, the near future appears embedded in science fiction. And the pros and cons of humanity's transition all depends on the inner workings of our brain. So what is the real purpose of the mind heist? The internet is now an indispensable tool that most people in modern society now rely on. However, you may be surprised to know how this world-shifting technology actually started its development. Meet DARPA. The first workable prototype of the internet came in 1969 with the creation of ARPANET, or the Advanced Research Projects Agency Network. In 1990, the ARPANET was closed down, and in its place, the World Wide Web, or WWW, as we know today, came online.
I first met Tim Berners-Lee in the mid-1980s. Then later, he wrote his proposal and so on. I saw the proposal. And I think the second time around, or maybe the third time around, a proposal actually was looked at, and he was in a position to ask for a computer that he wanted to prototype this on. And I also will never forget the day when, about 2 or 3 months later, I think this was ordered in May of 1990, Tim rushed in my office and said, Ben, it's arrived, come and look. And I went in his office and I saw this sexy black cube, and he was just setting it up. And it was the easiest machine to set up that I'd ever seen. And it was so impressive.
Mark Zuckerberg's first meeting with DARPA must have been very interesting. Here's why. In 2003, DARPA launched a project called LifeLog. Its objective was to capture, store, and make accessible the flow of one person's experience in and interactions with the world in order to support a broad spectrum of associates and assistants and other system capabilities. So basically to spy on everyone who was in the US and probably around the world. The objective of the LifeLog concept was, quote, to be able to trace the threads of an individual's life in terms of events, states, and relationship, and has the ability to take in all of the subject's experience from phone numbers dialed and email messages viewed to every breath taken, step made, and place gone. Its aim was to compile an electronic database of every activity and relationship a person engaged in. This was to include credit card purchases, websites visited, the content of telephone calls and emails sent and received, scans of faxes, postal mail sent and received, instant messages sent and received, books and magazines read, television and radio selections, physical location recorded via wearable GPS sensors to identify precise preferences, plans and goals, and other markers of intentionality. There was to be a predictive function in this LifeLog to create meaningful patterns in someone's timeline, to infer the user's routines, habits and relationships with other people, organizations, places and objects, and to exploit these patterns to ease its task. Of course, due to the obvious privacy implications, the LifeLog program was supposedly cancelled on February 3rd, 2004. However, the plot thickens extensively when on February 4th, a mere day after LifeLog was cancelled, Facebook was created in the supposed bedroom of Mark Zuckerberg.
The basic story of technology in our lifetimes is how it's given us the power to express ourselves and experience the world with ever greater richness. Back when I started Facebook, that mostly meant text that we typed on computers. Then we all got phones with cameras, and the internet became much more visual. And recently, as connections got faster, video has become the main way that we experience content. We've gone from desktop to web to phones, from text to photos to video, but this isn't the end of the line. The next platform and medium will be even more immersive, an embodied internet where you're in the experience, not just looking at it. And we call this the metaverse.
Together, we have a goal of creating a system capable of typing 100 words per minute, 5 times faster than you can type on your smartphone, straight from your brain.
Meet Regina Duggan, DARPA's first female director. She has been involved in the secret development sectors of companies such as Google and Facebook. In fact, when she left DARPA in 2012, her move to Google signaled a deeper connection between the government state and private tech companies. And this link between government and business will run down to the core of our psyche. When a Tesla bot was unveiled in 2022, it showcased how far humanoid robotics has come.
Our goal is to make a useful humanoid robot as quickly as possible. And we've also designed it using the same discipline that we use in designing the car, which is to design it for manufacturing such that it's possible to make the robot in high volume at low cost.
A high-volume, low-cost humanoid robot that will completely revolutionize the world order. But what is not talked about in the mainstream is that the improvement of technology is at a far more advanced stage than what is commercially available. But with the rise of Tesla, Neuralink, and Twitter in the hands of Elon Musk, the speed and integration of these different sectors will proceed faster than most will realize. And the deep state are all over what's to come. Notice Elon's change of tone in this clip.
So I want to be clear, we're working closely with the FDA, and we'll be extremely rigorous. In fact, we will significantly exceed the minimum FDA guidelines for safety.
And even though a sizable amount of the world's population will benefit greatly from the so-called Fourth Industrial Revolution, the innocent bystander may be swept up in a frenzy, changing tides that change the course of our history. But for severe thirst to be quenched, there first needs to be a drought, a catastrophic drought. A pandemic exercise was carried out in October 2022, with similar symptoms to the 201 event that was followed by Divok 19 3 months later.
As of today, there have been an estimated 1 billion cases worldwide, with more than 20 million deaths, including nearly 15 million children. Countless millions are alive, but left with paralysis or brain damage.
And it doesn't stop there.
Very sorry to say that in 2025 we need to strengthen the health system.
Awa Marie Coll Seck is Minister of State to the President of Senegal. In my opinion, there seems to be concern on her face that only a mother can convey. And the fact she said she's sorry to say that in 2025 health systems need to be strengthened concerning a fictional scenario is strange to me. And going back to DARPA, Arati Prabhakar, former successor to Regina Duggan as director, is currently the science advisor to the president of the US of A. There is a reason why Elon Musk has invested so heavily into his ventures, and we haven't yet seen the demand that he seemingly anticipates. And he's not the only one who sees a storm coming.
A few countries that have almost avoided the epidemic entirely, like Taiwan, New Zealand, Australia, they took their experience and actually prepared, and so they moved a lot faster. So we, we'll have to prepare for the next one. That, I'd say is will get attention this time.
In the first pandemic, I allowed my mind to be heisted by anxiety, and other personal issues brought me down. But the quantum frequency of prayer helped fight the battles of my mind, soul, and spirit, and it can do the same for you. Use the memories of your loved ones to bring you forward and push away the fallen angels that tried to influence us. Your mind is more powerful than you might think, and no person on this planet can know you better than you know yourself. Make sure that we keep it that way. And for now, Spectrums, God bless you.
And it's where do we go? And it's where do we